Listen, I love playing video games. They're on my mind a lot. Just waiting to play new releases, wishing I had more time to replay some games, make a dent in my backlog, and reminisce some fond memories. Some video games linger in my mind after I played them. There's some games I can't wait to play, usually if a game is just really good and I'm trying to get through work or waiting for the social gathering to end so I can get home and keep on playing. And of course, some video games from time to time I'll go crazy over and get obsessed with them, where I curse being an adult with responsibilities and obligations getting in the way of my gaming. And then there's Void Stranger. I'm not saying it's taken over my life, but when I have a small journal of notes and a large collection of screenshots that would recreate this Always Sunny meme, it's hard to overstate how much of a hold this game had on me. Right off the bat, I would rate this game as required, my highest rating. Yeah, I wanted to tell you the rating now because if you are at the least bit interested in playing Void Stranger, just go and play it as blind as you can and come back to this video. This game is meant to be experienced with little to no information. However, even though I think people should play it, this game is not for everyone. You have to have a certain patience, reluctance, and you gotta be a little weird to enjoy it. Not to mention the appeal of this game is kinda limited. To be as spoiler free as possible, here's a screenshot with the basic information from the dev's website. Void Stranger is a 2D Sokoban style puzzle game where every step counts. Descend into the forgotten labyrinth, teeming with fiendish foes and traps that defy reason. A swift defeat lurks at every corner for those who neither study their surroundings nor think their moves through with care. Trust your wits and slowly, surely, you will conquer the mysteries before you. You do remember why you're here, right? Or have you lost something? Something very important to you? Those last questions are important. It's easy to see this game on the surface as just a simple 8-bit looking brain teaser. And you know what? That's fair. But then something feels wrong with playing the game. Like the questions you're asking feels like answers to questions you haven't thought of yet. And with that, I'm going to have two separate spoiler sections for minor and major spoilers. Minor, I'll say something you would experience within the first 2 hours. Major spoilers, big revelations or advanced fundamentals of the game, but I'm not going into specifics of those revelations or even go in depth in the story. I'm serious that this game is best enjoyed when you know nothing about it. So everything I'll say from now on are spoilers, even if they're within the first 30 minutes, because Void Stranger is built on experiencing those details for the first time. Okay, ready? So this game is weird as hell. When you start, you notice the main gameplay is moving tiles to get to the stairs. There are clever game design tricks to get you used to how the moveset works. As you progress downward through the floors, things start to become confusing. You encounter optional rest areas where the game would quit out like an actual rest, and I always recommend opting to rest at these levels. It's a nice treat considering the puzzles can be difficult. The soundtrack is amazing. Void Symphony is so ingrained in my head, it has steeped into my dreams. Not to mention the sound design doesn't get too old considering you could be making mistakes constantly, and believe me, the mistakes will happen a lot. Which, let's get it out of the way. The Sokoban style puzzles are probably the biggest drawback of this game in having a mass appeal. I'm not saying the puzzles are difficult, but when you get to the later areas, it becomes challenging, and a brutal truth is that there are over 200 of these suckers. And what sucks even more is when you find out something wacky about those 200 plus rooms. But this mechanic is also the staple and glue that holds this game together. Like, this style is the fabric of what makes this game so appealing and addicting. There's a seemingly eeriness to the levels and environment, an invisible cloak covering the truth. You know it's there, you can feel its presence, and eventually something clicks and you learn to understand there's a language of Void Stranger. And here's the end of the line for minor spoilers, because everything I say from here on out, no matter how seemingly trivial, is major spoilers. And if you don't care, I'll try my best to show why I love this game. The act of discovery is juicy no matter if on accident or on purpose. The level of satisfaction and euphoria just by uncovering a clue or mystery is so invigorating. It's why I love secrets in games like Elden Ring and Tunic. They hide it well, but they make it serendipitous when you find it. Void Stranger's entire gameplay is secrets and discovery. There are puzzles within puzzles within puzzles. You have to take screenshots of areas to figure out what is the connection between them. You fell on accident, but something unexpected happened. There are strange NPCs sprinkled around and you don't know if they're friendly or not. Sometimes you have to make a choice and you don't even know what the consequences are or even when they show up. More than half the time, you make mistakes, but there's no undo. Once you touch the stairs, you're at the next level. Can't go back. Can't reload the NPC you accidentally pushed over the ledge. And there's a story in the depths from the cutscenes you watch when you open the game back up after a rest. The story and tone has the same offbeat charm and humor of Undertale, and it also has the same metafiction and Lovecraftian horrors of Undertale. You play as Gray, and there's a princess you're sworn to protect, and it seems like you're looking for her in this labyrinth. But there's another story here, and then another one that involves this maze. Why this maze? Why is Gray here? Why am I here? Then you learn a little bit more. A character isn't who they seem to be. We learn another backstory. And after over 200 levels, you beat the game and see an ending. It's gotta be the bad ending, right? There's gotta be more to it than that. And then the game quits, of course, and you boot the game back up and notice it wants you to play again. What does a special brand do? And then you start and you're in B001, the beginning. What more could there be? I played this game again knowing different things, and then I've noticed the patterns and the words. There are messages throughout the game. I went from taking random screenshots to having a journal documenting all I know from my journey. And then on another playthrough, I got a different ending. It's an ending that gave me hope. It felt complete in a way. And then it drops a bombshell because there's more. It's not over. There are depths to the depths of the abyss here and extends to every part of the screen. But little by little the game does get easier. Somehow it does. And each playthrough there's a curveball that's thrown. Something keeps you on your toes. While the game could feel like torture, especially for those who despise these kinds of puzzles, it does want to help you. It does guide the players with breadcrumbs. Not the most obvious ones, of course, but there are seams and they're everywhere. Sometimes I do have to use the internet for a clue and maybe a solution here and there, and think there are other people who are more or less obsessed. There's threads and forums dedicated to the secrets uncovered here. The best part is how spoiler adverse the community is, because this game is so jarring and yet we come back to it. We want more. And I don't know what else to say. Technically I was a little vague, but for real, all the revelations about the game are spoilers. There's so much intrigue and mysteries jam-packed into these 8-bit pixels. There is such a significant level of detail and attention to the world and mechanics, it's hard to gauge how far I'm in this game, let alone if I can ever confidently walk away from this game knowing I beat it. And I got the true ending. What could a true ending even mean? Wait, there's an optional minigame in this freaking thing? And then I'm thinking, why am I doing this? And I don't have a good answer for that. It's just so cool when there's a game with a certain je ne sais quoi. It's not that serious, but it's so damn fun to just revel in the mysteries and figure out weird stuff. And here's where I gotta be realistic about recommending this game to people. It's one of my favorite games I've ever played. I do rate it as a required game to play because, well, it's really amazing. But while it does seem to be deceptively simple, it does require a certain attention and energy. This isn't a relaxing game or something to play mindlessly. You gotta focus up if you want to feel any semblance of progress. I do think the negatives of Void Stranger may have to do with just how esoteric the game is. There are plenty of mechanics hidden in the background and they are easy to miss if you're not careful. It took me a long time to realize I was playing with the different save files. Yes, it doesn't tell you have different save files. This is in stark contrast to Tunic. They both don't hold your hand, but there's much more apparent guidance in Tunic with that manual, which I got a physical copy and it's super sweet. Void Stranger doesn't have a manual. Instead, it utilizes its basic gameplay mechanics and retro art style to draw the attention of the player toward a clue. The rest is up to you. You can be the weakest link, which isn't ideal. I'm not knocking this game down for how it doesn't show its cards to the players. I think Void Stranger does an excellent balance of being obtuse and also having vague clues and hints in the right direction. The act of discovery is the point of the game, and how the player engages with it is what makes it work. Not to mention there isn't really anything you can do that would permanently ruin a run. But this is a huge point of friction for players. FromSoft games like Dark Souls don't suffer from this mostly because it has a great gameplay mechanics where you don't have to care about the story or your actions. You can just go to a castle and chop bad guys' heads off and then move on to another castle and fight a dragon. With Void Stranger, you have to solve over 200 Sokoban puzzles and piece together the possibility that there's probably a lot more to each level and write down a lot of notes because you have to follow up on some clue or hint later on. And if you're stuck, you can get some rest or go on the internet and ask what the hell is the next step to do. But let's be real, the people who play this game are more likely the ones who actually are into this kind of style. This is a super niche indie title with little recognition, especially in 2023, a god tier year of video game releases. So it goes back to my recommendation. Yeah, I want more people to show System Erasure some love for Void Stranger. This is a complex puzzle game that I believe anyone can play, especially if they take their time and take it all in. But you do need certain taste buds and an appetite to enjoy it. I still have a craving for it. It's been on my mind a lot. It's hard to overstate how much this game has broken my perception, and now I'm seriously considering ranking this among my top favorites of all time. If you're on the fence about playing it, try it out and get a feeling for it. I do recommend checking out the non-secret walkthrough for the puzzles, so it makes that part easier at least. And then come back and tell me about it. And if you played it, please tell me about your experiences as spoiler free as possible. I need to know more people's thoughts on this game. Hell, I'm looking at forums because I just felt like I beat the game and I just want to talk about it. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about it. Does it appeal to you or you're just not that into it? Are these games more like fun when you see other people talk about it? I just love to talk too. But no matter what, Void Stranger is waiting for us to reach the end of the void, whatever that looks like.